brothers and sisters. I'm with Jose Zavala. Tell us, Jose, what do you do for Embrace Hope?
So for Embrace Hope, I came on board about 3 months and 21 days ago, and I am now the executive director.
Roger that. Outstanding. Executive Director of Embrace Hope. And tell everybody what Embrace Hope does out there.
So Embrace Hope was originally funded or established to be more of a preventative methods and collaboration between organizations to prevent homelessness, and we still do.
Yeah.
We still do. We have some pretty exciting plans in the future. I'm not gonna disclose any of those right at the moment. They're still very in the formulating stage, so we're still making a lot of sausage. But what most what most consumes my time currently is the Sea Carter Crane shelter for the homeless that Embrace Hope also controls.
Okay, and what's that last program you called? What, Sea Car to Crane?
It's the Sea Carter Crane shelter for the homeless. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
What's that all about?
So there we have a 6-week program where we take someone who is homeless, right? And as long as they have a paper ID or their ID, we will take them in. There's certain stipulations. We are a Christian organization, so they can't be consuming alcohol or drugs. They can't be a registered sex offender, and they can't have any felonies. As long as they meet those criterias. Also, we are also not a medical facility, so due to that, there's some medical screening we have to do, and if they meet the medical screening criteria, then they'll be accepted into the shelter. Once they're accepted into the shelter, it's a 6-week program where we take them, and we basically all we do is create opportunities. They do it all. So that's why it's extremely important for them to want it from their heart, as well as be mentally and physically capable to achieve their outcomes, right? So once a 6 weeks or once a correction, let me back up a little bit. So they come in once we get them out there. Every day they leave the shelter, they're supposed to get 5 applications and place 5 applications.
Okay.
Every day until they land a job. It might not be the job they want, but it's the job they need at the moment.
Cool.
Right? It's always easier to get a job when you have a job. So
right.
From there, once they receive their first paycheck, we've also partnered with Arvest Bank, which what they will do is once the client at the shelter gets their first paycheck, we take the client to Arvest. Arvest sits them down. They give them a budget class. And then they open up 2 accounts, one checking, one savings.
Okay.
Right? That income they get automatically every month, no matter what it is, 60% of that income is automatically transferred to their savings account.
Okay.
Right? And the rest stays in their checking, which they have a card and so on and so forth. The savings, they cannot withdraw or transfer unless it's in person.
Okay.
That's the stipulation, just making it a little more difficult for them to get the money that they're supposed to be saving, because they got a job, they're saving money, and within 6 weeks they're transitioning out. Well, what we're finding is they didn't have they weren't practicing good money management, and they would get and I don't have any deposit, I don't have the money for a deposit, I don't have the money for first month's rent. So thanks to Arvest, I think that now it's been working pretty well. Where they have first month's rent and deposit, and at that point, 6 weeks, maybe 7 or 8, if we have to extend them, typically we do, as long as they're in good standing. And at that point, they transition out. So once they transition out of the shelter, what Embrace Hope also does is we furnish them. So we give them a kind of like a kit, right?
Okay.
And the kit will have there's certain items that we have an item list where there's a couch is definitely going, beds, dishes, utensils, 3 bowls, things like that. And at that point, and we also outfit them with a box, like a medium box of canned food and some dry food and stuff like that. So when they transition from the shelter into their apartment, they're not sleeping on the floor. They have things to eat. They have where to sit. So hopefully the transition for them is less less impactful, especially if they have children and stuff like that, and the children are also having to live through it. So yeah, that long-winded, but I hope I answered your question.
That's an outstanding sounding program. Okay, in this one homeless shelter, how many people do you have in there, and is that for veterans only, or how does that work?
Yeah, so the shelter is a total of 28 bed capacity. The male side is a big open bay. So we're fortunate to have the shelter. The shelter is a World War II building, so it is 50 years old. It comes with a lot of maintenance and stuff. But when you walk in, it smells like Clorox and Pine Sol. So at the end of the day, we've been doing our very best to keep it to the very best that it can be. Unfortunately, all our beds are on the second floor, so we're currently not ADA, compliant. However, upstairs we have a bay, a big open bay with 18 bunks. With 18 bunks. Well, 9 bunks.
Okay,
9 bunks.
but they're double, like
Double.
they're bunk beds.
So there's a
Okay.
total of 18 beds.
Okay.
Total in the male side, and then we have 5 rooms. And in those 5 rooms is where we put females, families, or single mothers with children, so on and so forth. We've had currently we have a 19-year-old in the shelter. So.
Okay. And what is the situation with most of those guys?
Yeah, so and I failed to answer the question before regarding is it veteran only? No, so we're open for everyone. We're currently the only shelter in Lawton that takes men, women, children, as well as families and single parents with children. That actually, I mean, Salvation Army does, but they're out there, in a little different environment than we are at the shelter. So. I hope that answers your previous question. Can you
Right.
repeat the last one, please?
Yeah, I was just wondering exactly what that situation was because we were just over there looking at it, and the people are going to be able to see a little bit of that video of us at that shelter, and they're going to be able to see that it's a old World War II looking barracks. So I was just wondering about the dynamics of the barracks because you've got that whole ground floor that's mostly like the kitchen area, the
Yes.
office areas and such.
Yeah, so the first floor is basically our office area. Our staff consists of myself, my shelter manager, which she is at the shelter and she manages daily operations at the shelter. And then we have a case manager. It's just 3 of us that try to do most of the work. Our founder, she's God bless her, she does a lot of work behind the scenes
Right.
that are greatly appreciated because there's a lot of things to do and not enough people to do them with. So.
Yeah, and who the founder is Brenda.
Miss Brenda, yes, Miss Brenda Spencer Radlin, yes.
I love Brenda. She's a pretty okay gal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel honestly, I feel fortunate. A lot of people always, you hear a lot of employees talk about you got to find the right employee or the right employee, right? You hear the employer say that, but I mean, it's just as hard for an employee to find a good employer or a good boss, right?
Yeah.
And being in the military, I've learned that they're few and far apart. So you better be appreciative and graceful for the ones that you meet along the way.
Absolutely. Are you guys planning on getting any of the spaces Americans with Disability or ADA compliant?
We're praying for a new shelter, and if if we can get a new shelter, we could definitely. Otherwise, there's no rooms on the first floor.
Right.
So, besides putting like it's the more money we invest into the World War II building, eventually it's quite old. We need to relocate.
Yeah.
I think that would be the best thing to do before we start or we continue to improve something that in the future. Let's be realistic. It's gonna have to.
Yeah.
It's gonna have to say we're gonna have to sunset it, right?
Right. So that older building will have to
Correct.
end up getting transitioned, and we'll move into a different building, and hopefully that'll be more modern, and you'll be able to have some
If God-
ADA rooms.
If God allows, yes,
Yeah.
100%. That would open up our doors to a whole new set of clients that are out there in need of support that just can't come up our steps.
Okay.
We turn away a few almost every day.
Dang, that's too bad.